I mean, I'm not live on my end yet, but yeah, you're good. You can rip us in. They're gonna get the exclusive on your stream.
All right, welcome in everybody. Another episode of the Gentleman's Code, episode 42 here, coming to you live this Wednesday night. I kind of like the afternoon streams, so it's a little bit different. Change up the pace. You know, a lot of our
Yep.
viewers are some early morning sleepy heads. They got to get their morning sleep in, so we'll let them sleep. We'll come to them as soon as they log off of work. Boom, we hit them.
Hit them with the stream out after they wanted to put their head through a wall, getting back after that rush hour traffic. We hit them with that dose of reality. Get out of your mind to five, motherfucker. Hold on, let me get the. But yeah, they're hugging pillows in the morning. They can't handle the 8 a.m. Eastern stream, so we gotta come at them live in the evening time. Here we go, preparing for the AI revolution. That's why I have the title of the stream, the AI revolution.
My title is "The Opportunity Has Never Been Greater."
Exactly, both correct. The opportunity's never been greater because of the AI revolution.
That's so true. Super true.
So preparing for the AI revolution. I'm going live right now, player. But yeah, what's going on, Boba Fett? What's the updates on your end? What do we got going on?
Nothing much. Business as usual now. Today, getting back into it. Just landed in from Vegas early morning yesterday, so had a nice trip out there in Vegas. It was hot. Hitting a little Cino action, a little Bellagio action. Good time. I went to that new Italian spot inside the Bellagio Lago.
Mm,
On the fountain. The
the
fountains.
Lago.
While you're eating some nice Italian dinner.
Speaking of the Bellagio, did you hear about what happened right in front of the Bellagio?
I was right there that night. It was literally probably two hotels down when it happened.
Bomba clot.
Yeah. Some
No, you were
YouTube.
there when it happened.
Yeah. I was inside the area, but was there pretty much. Yeah. So people that don't know or did not see what happened, there was a YouTube streamer. I guess had some beef with some Las Vegas YouTube streamer. They saw each other in the street and just he lit him and his wife up that were live streaming live in the street on the strip in Vegas. And I was right there. I ended up waking up to the news that it happened. I didn't know it happened that night, but yeah, crazy.
Blicked him up. Oh my goodness. That's crazy that you were there whenever it happened.
Yeah.
And I was just in Vegas too, a couple weeks ago. Not even.
Did you stop in the Bellagio while you were there?
Oh yeah, I had to
Of
get a
course.
home base. Yeah.
Dude, it's so
Had-
nice in there. It's probably the best hotel. It really is. I don't know about the rooms. I never stayed at the Bellagio, but the casino there is the best.
It's classy. It's the vibe that you want whenever you go to Vegas. You get tuxedoed up, you hit the craps table. Got your honey with you. She's dressed up all nice. She's watching you make money or lose it.
Yeah.
But it's not gambling if you know you're gonna win. So we go in there, we win. And yeah, the Bellagio is the best. I love the Bellagio. Oh, the Wynn too, though.
Yep.
The Wynn is fantastic.
Yeah.
I stay at the Wynn when I go to Vegas. I was at Caesars this past time, but usually I go to the Wynn. I've not stayed in the Bellagio though. You're right. I don't know
Yeah.
what the rooms look like, but the Wynn's rooms are class.
Yeah, the wind's really
Class.
nice too. That little mall they have there with like the car has like the red carpet, but with the tile around it. Oh, it looks like you're in like a Roman cathedral mall or something. They have an OVO store there. I stopped in Drizzy's store. Such nice stuff. His prices were
Shout out
actually
Drizzy.
like pretty reasonable compared to all the other stores that were there too. So you could get some good Drizzy merch in there for anyone that wants to get some OVO.
Not to skip the shooting so quickly. I saw the video of it, so it was on X. That's where I saw the video, and I don't know what the backstory was outside of like you said they just had a beef. Guy was looking all over Vegas for him, apparently going through all the different casinos, spending days out there. Finally, boom, runs into him right in front of the Bellage. The guy's streaming, and all you hear is his wife just start going, "Yep, yep, yep, yep." And boom, boom, boom. Which another video I saw on X, it was a dude inside of a convenience store, and this white lady, drunk as shit, apparently causing a scene, and this black dude was telling her to shut the hell up and telling her husband to get her and to get her the hell out of there. The drunk lady, acting a fool, ends up hitting one of the guy's buddies. And so the black bro just went crazy and he just started swinging on the chick and swinging on the dude. Oh, dude, I have to find the video. Okay.
Does he knock her out clean?
Oh, he knocks the dude out. And the point is that these guys are so cucked and they have no control over their females that then the woman goes and runs her mouth and acts a fool. And guess who has to pay for it? The guy. Because the guy's the one who's going to get beat the fuck up. And this dude got cracked. But with that, I have to find the video. But in the video, the white guy was acting all tough at the beginning whenever the dude was talking shit. He said, "Shut up, I'll fucking kill you." And then he hits him with the N-word, this white guy, to the black guy. The black guy, obviously that sets off the black bro. So he starts swinging. Bruv, he cracks the white guy. White guy goes down onto his knees, and you hear in the video, he goes, "Stop, stop, I love you. I swear I love you. Stop." Dude, he goes, "I love you." After he got knocked out, he said, "I love you."
Instantly regretted his words as soon as he hit the ground.
Dude, it was the funniest shit ever. You just hear "I love you" in the video and then right back to getting knocked the fuck out.
So where was it? Was that in Vegas too? Is that what you were saying?
I know, it was just the video reminded me because it was the ladies that you hear yapping at the beginning. And so yeah, this lady was mouthing off and this dude ends up beating up her husband because she won't shut the hell up.
Yeah, in the Vegas shooting one, you hear her like, "Don't come over here, causing problems," and he like goes right around her. He's like right around her. He starts shooting, and then she's like, "Are you serious?" And then I think she ended up getting shot too.
Yeah, unbelievable. You know what other video popped up on my feed recently? It was the video you sent us in your neighborhood, not in your neighborhood, but like right around your area, where that guy, the military guy, came across the street and he shot that couple
Because of the snow,
because of the snow.
snow plowing. Yeah, that's a crazy one.
It's a crazy one. That one just so happened to jump up on my feed recently.
They circulate those
They
crazy
do.
murders. Yeah, that one.
Right.
I guess ex-military vet had problems with his across the street neighbors shoveling snow into the street or something, and I don't know, they exchanged words or something, and then he came over and shot them and like just killed them over some snow plowing, which is crazy.
Oh, nuts. Yeah, it's just obviously an insane overreaction. Right? The person doing the killing is obviously way out of line. But again, in that video too, who's fucking screaming? It's the lady. It's the wife. "You motherfucker, piece of shit." Da, 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 da." And once you hear her start running her mouth, what happens? He goes in, he gets the blicks and fucking comes over. That's people don't understand or are gonna take out of context. Here it is. I found it, bro. This is it right here. Hold on, how do I get the fucking video? Bro, the video is so fucking funny. Here it is. I'm gonna share my screen. Dude, it is so good. Oh, no, this is not it. It's this one. Dude, all right. It's so good. Okay. All right, let me close out all my tabs because I can't have motherfuckers seeing all this. All right, hold on, hold on. All right, share screen, share sound. Okay, let me know when you can see this.
I could see it.
Okay. All right, let's just make sure there's nothing on my screen that can put me in jail, and then we should be good. All right, screen capture. Hold on. This shit is too fucking funny. Okay. All right, they should be able to see it on stream. Can you see? You can see
Yep.
my video, right?
I can see it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so here we go.
Bitch, talking to the wrong nigga, bitch. Don't touch me. Ain't nobody touching you. I didn't touch you. Get the fuck out my face. I didn't touch you, bitch. I didn't touch you, drunk ass bitch. You the bitch. You drunk ass bitch. You the bitch. Go get your nigga, cause I'll slap you in here.
The white boys in the back.
Yeah, you'll see.
You the bitch. I'll slap this bitch. I'll slap this bitch. Yeah, get your bitch for a slapper. You the bitch. Bitch. Kill you, nigga. Help her. Bitch. Kill you, nigga. Help her. Bitch. Kill you, nigga.
Watch.
What the fuck wrong? I'll slap you. You not doing that. What the fuck wrong with y'all? What the fuck wrong with y'all out here? I'll slap the fuck out both y'all. All right, enough. What's wrong with you, bitch ass nigga? I tried to help you. I tried to help you. I tried to help you, dumb ass nigga. I tried to help you. I love you, dude. I tried to help you. I tried to help you. Stop, girl. Stop. I tried to help you.
I love you.
Really stupid. Something told me deep inside, better not do it.
He's on his
I love you, dude. Stop. What an idiot.
Oh my God.
That's not even the full video that I saw. That's just the first one that came up. But it keeps going, and the black dude keeps beating the shit out of him. It gets worse. So he ends up knocking him out, kicking him in the face. The dude gets obliterated. That was half of it. But that's the line that's just so funny because he goes, "I'll effing kill you." I censored the wrong word. He said, "I'll fucking kill you," and then 2 seconds later, "I love you, dude. Stop." What a fucking idiot.
Oh man, you gotta know when you're dealing with some crazies like that in the gas station, because there's some crazies out there that don't care.
And this is why men, you have to understand where to draw the line with the women that you are. If you can't control what she's going to say or what she's going to do or how she's going to act in public, you got to understand you're still responsible for that. And so this is why if you don't have authority, you're not responsible for somebody. If you don't have authority over your girl, then you're not responsible for her because she's going to do something like that and then you're going to get knocked the fuck out. So if you don't have authority, you're not responsible. I wouldn't be with that girl because that's the shit that's going to happen. And that's the world we live in now because institutions have made it so safe for women that in the past, 200, 300 years ago, when a woman had to rely on her father, brothers, husband for protection, she respected them, right? Because she needed that protection. So that's what's interesting about how society's set up now, where a woman no longer needs her actual direct male relationships to protect her. You have society, laws, police officers, etc. So because she no longer requires the protection directly from her father or husband or brothers, she's no longer incentivized to respect them. That's number one, because she doesn't need to respect them anymore because she doesn't need them to protect her. And the second thing is, this is also women are so, not all women, obviously, but you see women who will just hit guys, slap them, punch them, run their mouths to men as if nothing could happen to them because they assume, oh, you're not allowed to hit a woman. So then they do that type of shit. And then quickly they find out as soon as violence does enter, they get annihilated. But they think they can't be touched. That's the only reason they're willing to slap a man or hit a man. When 300 years ago, when they don't have the protection of the law, they would never think to do such a thing because they know they'd get hit, right? So it's interesting how you see society evolve and then how people the behavior changes because they don't think there's any consequences now to their behavior. So they'll just hit a guy. This lady hits a guy. Black dudes end up beating the shit out of her and her husband. So yeah, what do you think was going to happen?
Yeah, you definitely don't want to. I think a lot of women are smart enough to realize that you shouldn't do that and they won't get involved, especially with the crazy in a 7-Eleven like that, because the crazies in 7-Eleven, anything could happen when you're there. But who knows what was leading up to that besides, we saw a good part of it, but it just looked like a couple crazies acting out at the local 7-Eleven.
Right. Yeah, and this lady's running her mouth, ends up hitting the cameraman. The white dude said a wild line to the black guy.
He been itching to say that. You could tell he was itching to get that out.
Itching. He loved it. He's like, oh, I got him. And then next thing you know, I love you, bro. Stop. On his knees.
He's literally on his knees looking up like, I love you, bro.
I mean, the ultimate. I mean, just the ultimate submission of just instant submission to this guy. Like, okay, I can't do anything. I love you. Stop, show mercy.
I mean, he looked like a pretty big dude too, standing in the doorway, little
Yeah.
fat and overweight, but I mean, he looked like a decently sized dude.
Oh my goodness.
So,
That is just yeah.
so I mean, that I think that's like a pretty common thing you see today, though. You know, like you're saying with women lashing out, acting out, but also these people are getting crazier and crazier, and they don't care. They don't respect people's boundaries, even if that like those people did say something to them, and then that guy ultimately dropped the N word at him. Like, people are being less and less restrained in public these days. They will, like, if you go walk around a major city, there's some crazies acting out at all time. Even, like, down here in downtown Tampa, there's some guys that I'm not even going to look in their direction when I'm walking by because I don't know what's going through their head. They could snap. They could, anything. Even if they're, like, chirping, sometimes you just got to look away. You don't know what these people will do.
Yep. We were in Indianapolis, with Goody and the boys for the Indy 500. Homeless dude on drugs in the middle of the day. Me, Goody, and Zavatrilla are riding through the city on our bird scooters. And we pull up to an intersection where we're going to go across the street. Homeless bro asking for money. We don't have cash. So, no, we don't have cash. Homeless dude got mad and swung on Goody. He missed, but he swung.
What?
And clearly this guy was mentally ill.
Yeah.
Just idiot. Me and Trilla looked at each other's like, oh, we're actually about to beat the shit out of this homeless guy.
Oh my God.
And then it was shocking because it wasn't a normal bar. You're at the bar, boom, some guy swings on your boy. All right, you jump in, you beating the shit, it's a fight. It's just a homeless guy. Went from, oh, hey, you guys got a couple of dollars? We're like, oh, no, man, we're sorry. Oh, yeah, I'll beat the shit out of you, huh? Like, flails a punch, doesn't hit Goody, but we all look. So this is happening right now. We're just going to have to beat up this homeless dude.
Over some spare change that he wants. Like you owe it to him.
Yeah. So, sorry I didn't give you drug money, Russ Clut. So... But yeah, just a situation like that where you just don't know what's going through people's heads. You don't know. This dude might just crash out right now. That's what happened in Vegas with the guy who shot the guy and his wife. People just crash out. That's why it's not worth it to be a smartass and run your mouth. Same thing with the video of the two people. We should explain that story. You can probably explain it better. The one about the neighbors and you're close to where you live at in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty similar story to, I guess, the shooting in Vegas. More long outstanding neighbor beef. Not anything that just spurred the moment. I guess they were shoveling snow during a big snowstorm in Pennsylvania. There was like a foot of snow outside. They're outside shoveling. They start chirping back and forth across, like literally neighbors right across from each other, like in the driveway yelling back and forth. Wife and a husband versus the one neighbor guy. They say something that triggers him. He's like, all right, I'll be right back. Goes in the house, comes out with a rifle, and he just shoots them, and then you hear them start screaming, running. He follows them like into the garage, shoots them there, and then that's it. And he actually went inside and ended up killing himself right after that too. So he was ready to risk it all in that moment, and then he dies. His life's over because of that decision.
Correct. And it was all over because they shoveled snow into his driveway, right?
Yeah.
And so this is I was talking about this to somebody else the other day, where you see how people who aren't ambitious, aren't growing, who aren't building themselves, aren't building a business, they're not working towards anything. They don't have problems. These people don't have real problems. So they find problems, they find issues in places where they don't need to be at. This is a perfect example of it. These people are living these ordinary ass lives, mid-40s, probably no ambition, haven't gotten anywhere, miserable. So they're just looking to have problems. So, they're shoveling snow into this guy's driveway, and the guy's saying, I hear him, he goes, oh, man, fuck you guys. And then the husband immediately was like, hey, man, fuck you. And then the wife, like, puts the shovel down and goes, yeah, fuck you, motherfucker, you piece of shit. But it's, what is that worth it for? What are you going to gain out of that? And clearly nothing, because what happens 10 seconds later is you got bullets in your head. And same with her husband, both murdered. So over problems that don't need to exist. You think Bobby is going to look to make problems with our neighbor over who's shoveling our fucking snow? I have bigger problems to deal with. My problems are I don't have $1 billion yet. I'm not worried about the fucking snow. It's like these are people without things to do. So they
Yeah.
look for problems. And this is
Looking
what happens.
looking to argue, looking to get in problems, and same with that video on 7-Eleven. You could tell the way that guy was acting. He didn't have anything to do the rest of that day. He was like, all right, we're just going to cause problems in 7-Eleven today. And he's probably was in there for 30 minutes waiting for his perfect target. They come in chirping him. Boom. He's like, all right, let's go. Let's fight. So, like Priamo said, it's not worth it to ever even give your attention to these people. These people are such attention seekers, is what I notice. A lot of these types of people that want to start problems, on the street, homeless people, they're just looking for someone to give them some attention, and then once they use that attention against you, especially, with people asking for money, people looking to get violent, don't give them the attention they're looking for, because that's what they want ultimately. And then it'll make you get all riled up, have to defend yourself, maybe throw a slur out there like that guy did in the 7-Eleven, and then, who knows what could happen. So don't give your attention to these types of people.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're on your knees telling a man you love him. The ultimate fucking disrespect. I love you, bro. Stop it.
And he's still punching you in the face.
So bad. That's just the funniest to me because it's the ultimate submission. It's the ultimate bitch. You just got the ultimate bitching. Oh my goodness. I love you, bro. Stop it. Oh my. Well, what was gonna be the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, wasn't even a conscious decision I had made at some point, but I noticed this too. So true how the busier I got and the more involved I became with my businesses and where I'm trying to get to in life, I don't answer anyone ever when it comes to drama, hate, shit talking, etc. In high school, when I was younger, I used to love trolling. I used to love getting into the beefs and the drama and shit. College too, which is because there's nothing better to do. But now, when somebody sends me or even puts a comment hating or texts me something, whatever, right? I literally don't answer these people. I'm not going to engage. First of all, you're a nobody, okay? Because if you're worried about this, that, and the third, you clearly don't have anything going on. I'm not going to engage in that shit because I'm too important. I'm too busy. I got other things to deal with. You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about making money. I'm not worried about your fucking crying or yapping about some drama. Kick rocks. I'm not even going to answer it. I'm not even going to give it attention.
That's so true. The more focused you get on your own stuff, the less and less you care about other people's nonsense, and that's something that I've seen in myself too. Like you said, people like you said, people have nothing else to do, so they want to talk, they want to have drama, this, that, and the third. But it's just like I don't care. I could not care one more bit than anything. But one drama that I do care about, and I did want to talk to you about. I don't know if you saw it or not, but Elon and Trump going at it on X.
Oh, yeah.
I know we had to touch on it. It's been a busy week, but that is one little beef that I was intrigued by, to say the least. Out of nowhere, I mean, last episode, I think we were talking about how he gave him the key to the White House, and then on Friday night, he's blasting him. Da-da-da-da-da. So I don't know.
Said he's in that
Epstein files. He actually
That's what I
tweeted
was
today
gonna
that he
say.
said he was sorry about what he said. Did you see that?
I did see that.
So what the hell happened with them?
Market manipulation.
Yeah.
It's all dude. My one boy said it, and when he said it, I took that stance too because it made sense to say, "Oh yeah, that is what they're doing." At the time when they had done it was when Bitcoin was walking its price up to new all-time highs, and they needed some kind of catalyst to bring the price back down lower. One more pullback, one more Jeet.
What about Tesla
Just
stock too?
Tesla did a G2. Oh yeah, I'm sure it
14%, I think, in like 2 days there.
Yep. And it happens as soon as we were topping out there. We need some type of catalyst to bring the price back down lower. What happens? Elon's on Twitter saying he's on the Epstein files, fuck Trump, da da da, this, that, and the third. And then crypto and then Tesla and these stocks start jeeting hard. Interesting. And then after that nice big pullback, what just came out earlier this morning? Trade deal with China.
These guys are
These
playing
guys are
5D
they're playing.
chess.
Bobby, they're playing, dude. They're playing. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. These guys are finessers.
I had a hunch that it was bullshit. I just didn't know what the bullshit would be. I didn't know if it's something, government contracting wise, because that was like something he said. He's like, maybe we'll look at Elon's government contracts, like if he wants to be a smart ass. So I was like, does that have something to do with SpaceX or something to do with Starlink? Like what? I didn't understand exactly, but that makes sense, market manipulation, because I did see that Tesla stock was down big after it happened. And I'm like, what else? Like, why else would you do that on X to just blast that out to the world? And why would you say the Epstein thing without any evidence?
Exactly.
Right? He was just like bullshitting.
Oh shit! I got my fucking stream on the wrong setting. Hold on. But yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was a complete fugaz. And these guys, listen. As much as I love Pompino and Elon, these guys are still trying to make money. I'm not an idiot. We're all privy to the game that's being played here. We're just making sure we ride it with them. They're fugazing. They're cheating the market. They're pumping the market. They're trying to do shit so that they can get good entries, refill their bags, do all this bullshit. So it was a complete and total market manipulation. And it makes sense now because as soon as Elon apologizes for the tweets he made. And here's the other thing, too, I was thinking about whenever he was doing this publicly. The reason it didn't make sense to me and what my buddy was saying had me buy into the fact that this was market manipulation was what he was saying on X and publicly, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why would you do that publicly? This guy's the richest man on the planet, and then you have Pompino, the president. They're smart enough to understand you don't do this shit publicly. These guys aren't idiots.
Yeah.
There had to have been something behind it. That's why I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And then you could get the news coming out with China and the trade deal. It's like, oh, they want to pump price lower or dump price, be able to do what they want to do, announce the China trade deal, that thing goes through, and then they send everything all to new all-time highs.
And the thing that set me off, too, was I was like, Trump probably doesn't write all of his own posts. Like, he has an assistant that's there typing. It's like speak the text or whatever you want to call it. Right. So it's like he's not the one typing this message out. He might have said this message, but somebody else is sitting there, and somebody else is probably like, if it was real, they'd be like, hey, sir, this might not be a good idea to send this. And vice versa for Elon. I'm sure he has advisors that, look after what he's saying on the internet and whatever. But it's like, I'm sure somebody would have said, hey, guys, I don't think this is a good idea. And they would have been like, you know what, you're right. But that didn't happen. It was like perfectly planned, too. It was like Elon tweeted. Then Trump tweeted back, and then Elon tweeted again, and then Trump tweeted back again. It was like very kind of coordinated in some sense, and that's what gave me a red flag.
Right. Yeah, these guys aren't morons. They're not doing this shit publicly for no reason. And to say that Trump is on the Epstein files publicly, and that's the reason that they didn't release the files is pretty fucking absurd. And so for that to be real and him have done that, it just doesn't make sense. Because even legally, if it was true and he did have access to that classified information, I'm sure
which he doesn't.
Which he doesn't, right? But if he did and then released that classified information, that's illegal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fucking lawyer, but I would assume that's illegal, and he would lose all of his security clearances, which then in turn would lose his government contracts for Tesla. So it wouldn't even make sense for him to do that.
Yeah, so that was wild. A lot of people were getting stirred up there, but it cooled off relatively quickly, and now it's like in the rearview mirror already. It's like people forgot about it.
Yep. Crazy, right?
So that's a good take. Market manipulation, I could definitely see it. But yeah, that was crazy. I was itching to talk to you about that. I was like, I wonder what Priamo thinks about this one.
Yeah. You're right. I didn't even it happened, and then I didn't even think much of it since then. That's how quickly all this information goes by. Which is but yeah, that's why I'm putting it down too. I believe it was market manipulation. That shit, it just didn't make sense. Why would they do that publicly? Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense.
So I know topic of the show today, we wanted to talk a little bit about AI, and I had a topic that I wanted to kind of talk about because I was never a computer engineer, computer science, into that kind of stuff until AI started coming along, and I was able to kind of start running my own systems and start running my own code and things like that. And one of the things I never realized, which AI has recently enlightened me to, is the power of your own like personal computer, your own machine, like what they used to call them machines back in the day. And I never really understood this because I was never an engineer, was never a computer programmer or anything like this. But the things that your computer can do on its own inside the terminal is literally insane. You could run all these different scripts and all these different files right out of your own computer terminal that I was so blind to this. I can't believe I've never like thought about using a computer this way. So some of the things I'm trying to build out is some own agents that could go out and do different things and pull from different applications with APIs and things like that. And we're working on something very cool on the back end, me and Priamo. But I was just so blind to the fact that this computer that I'm working on right here is so powerful and it could do so many different things, but I just never knew how to use it like that. Like the terminal and just writing code, and it pulls from different files and applications, and I was so blind to it, and it's opened my eyes so much over the past couple of weeks of what this computer could do. If you just give it the right information and let it work, it's mind-blowing. So that was something I wanted to tell the people is like learn AI just for the fact of maximizing your computer's power and what your computer could do. Your computer, when they first came out, they weren't meant to go on Google Chrome. They weren't meant to go on all these applications, the camera or the, even now streaming software is like all these apps are just add-ons to the computer. The original computers were made for scripting and coding to build applications. That's what a computer is made for. Now we've just come so used to the fact that we could just go on this application and scroll X on it and, do all these normal things that we do in video editing, like all this stuff is so nice to have, right? And that's why the computers are great, because we could build all this stuff. But that's not what computers were designed to do. They were designed to build and to compute and to put numbers in and math, complex formulas to be able to do these things. So I never thought of using my computer like this until recently. But now that I've gotten into it, it's like a whole new world. There's so much you can do and so much you could build with AI now. It's insane.
It is. That's why I'm so excited about this next stage of AI is number one, what it's teaching us, but the tool it is in and of itself to be able to make money. I was just talking about inside the Discord. I ran a private call for the gentleman in the Discord.
Yeah, I wanted to join. I was on the flight at that time when you ran that.
Yeah, it was good. We went through Hyperliquid. I was showing him how we were putting in the trades, long, short, all that type of stuff. And then I was giving him what we were doing behind the scenes with the AI to be able to make money with crypto. And excuse me. So, but the point I was making to them in that private call was what we're doing with the AI is so important because we're doing it first, or one of the first to do it. Very soon, in a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, with how quickly things are progressing, more and more people are going to figure out about it. More and more people are going to try it, the more competitive it becomes. But if we do it now, and we're quick, and we're effective, and we do it well, we're going to have, number one, time on others to be able to train our algorithm, train our strategy, train the way that we're making money with it. But on top of all that, we're naturally going to be more competitive just due to the sheer lack of market participants doing what we're doing with this AI. And so that's why it's going to be such a money printer, is because we're so at the cutting edge of it, right? The technology is there, but people aren't using it for that. Yep. I know very few who have already done it and are making a ridiculous amount of money doing it, but it's you could count them on two hands, these people that are actually doing it.
Well, the thing is, people would never think these two things could go together. And I didn't think they could go together until you showed me what you showed me on TradingView. And then it clicked. I was like, oh my God, this is completely possible. And then we started talking more about it. But yeah, it's insane. People wouldn't believe that these two things could go together the way that we're combining them together. And it's
going to be fucking sick.
This will be a thing in the future. This is a future industry for sure. And we're at the cutting edge of it.
Not only that, but basically, this is what hedge funds and massive investors have already been doing for ages. It's just they've had the capital to actually hire people to develop this software and develop this code for them.
Yep.
Now you don't need that. Now you can actually train your AI to do it for you. You just need to have the idea and understand how to put it together to make it make money. Right? So the AI is a tool, it's enhancing your capabilities, but you still have to have the idea. You still have to have the foresight. You still have to have the ingenuity to actually put something like this together to make it make money.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing right now. So the guys in the Discord, they're fired the fuck up because they know how big this is going to be for us. Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I'm working on it. As soon as we get off the stream, we can jump in on it because
Yeah.
but it's sick.
That's why I'm making sure to save down all the stuff I'm doing on there too, because sometimes, if anybody here is watching that uses AI a lot, you could lose your prompts and you could kind of lose the steps of how you build things. So it's very important to save down your work in terms of what AI is telling you and what you're building out, because if you build it once, that's great, but you want to be able to build these things repeatedly. You want to have AI working like a factory machine, right? It's just pumping out bots and pumping out things that you could do. And the only way to be able to do that is to be able to save down your documentation and your processes of how you're doing it. So that's super important when you're doing this, and we're getting better at that as well. But yeah, I had a dream about it last night. Like I was like in a computer or something. I literally was dreaming about it.
Dreaming about the money. I love it. I do it too. I do. I wake up sometimes from dreams just fucking pissed. Like, oh, I was there. I thought it was real, but it wasn't. So yeah, that's gonna be huge. But yeah, the gentleman, you have to understand that this is what you got to be doing. You have to implement this into your businesses, right? You can't be the person who isn't implementing this on some level because everybody's going to do it. It's the same thing with the computer. It was the same thing with the cell phone. It's the same thing it's going to be with crypto and AI. You just have to use your mind and understand this is where industry is going. This is where the opportunity is going to be at. Let me actually have some foresight and go there before everybody else. Mm-hmm. You have the tech bubble in the late 2000s, or excuse me, the late 90s, early 2000s. These people who are early to this technology, early to adopt, early to invest, became multi-billionaires. These are the richest people across the planet, are what? Tech billionaires. This is whenever Bill Gates came about. Jeff Bezos, what's his name? The Apple guy.
Steve Jobs.
Zuckerberg. What's the guy? The owner of the Clippers. It was Bill Gates' partner.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Wozniak.
Yeah, Steve Wozniak.
Yeah. Wozniak. Then you had the guy who was on Joe Rogan recently. Forget his name. Michael Saylor, first blew up during the tech bubble.
Yep.
All these multi-billionaires, richest people across the country or across the world, were tech. Okay, so what do you think the next generation is going to come from? AI, crypto. That's the new bubble. That's the new thing that's going to be blowing up. So just have the foresight. You got to be there before everybody else, because what's going to happen is by the end of this year, once the bull market is full-fledged pumping, we're at all-time highs on Bitcoin. We're at 150 to 200,000. All the altcoins that we have are blowing up. People are making millions and millions of dollars overnight. Everybody else is going to find out about it, and what's going to happen? You're all going to try to get privy to it. By the time it's already too late, the bubble pops, your exit liquidity, and we run off with the millions. So I know right now is when you need to be doing it, when nobody else is talking about it, right? What other stream are you going on right now where they're talking about building these bots and AI trading algorithms, et cetera, to make money online? I don't hear anybody else talking about that, getting rich off of it. No. So we're early. We're early to it. You haven't have access to it, obviously. I mean, you got to be part of the network. We're not just going to fucking put it out on YouTube. But
yeah, the best thing about it is that we could build something like this and sell it to the masses. And that's what I'm really excited for. Not only for, myself, for my own investments, to be able to do some of the things that I want to do with it, but also to be able to build a business out of it, and to build a business that is going to be here for years and years to come as things come and go. This is new, and this could be here for the next 10 to 50 years. Who knows how fast this stuff will accelerate, but it's at the forefront. You have to build something, and it has to evolve. And by the time we are where we want to be with this, I think it could look completely different. The market's going to look completely different because, like you said, the more people that get onto this and onto this, trading might look different. Crypto might look different by the time this works, but we'll already be there. We'll already be on. We'll have our AI bots going, and we'll have our people analyzing it and doing that. But yeah, super exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. So, and then we're gonna have it plugged right into the Discord server too. So, boom, you access the private Discord server. You're gonna be able to operate it right in there. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So, I'm trying to think of any other big stories outside of Elon Pompino, market manipulation, crypto's about to run to Valhalla.
The LA riots going on.
Great. Yep. Great one.
That
Okay. I'll
that
let you
one's
start. Yeah.
that one's just starting to get a little out of hand. It's such a hard thing to someone said Steve Ballmer. It was the guy.
Steve Ballmer.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer. Thank
He
you,
did get it right. That is exactly what I was thinking of.
TML fan. Appreciate that. Um, yeah. So the LA riots. Obviously, everybody has their right to free speech and their right to go protest against what the government's doing in terms of ICE and all that stuff, right? That's not what we're talking about here. This is people specifically blowing up cars, destroying cars, looting Apple stores. They took out the Air Jordan store, which is on brand, and literally on brand. And so it's getting a little extreme. And what Gavin Newsom is doing is he's saying this is Trump's fault. This is all Trump's
These
fault.
scum.
And there has to come a time when that guy is going to have to take responsibility for something. When has that guy ever sat down and took accountability for what happens there? Never. It's always somebody else's fault. The fires come through. Oh, so it's somebody else's fault. We didn't have the water. The homelessness problems. Oh, we spent $30 billion on homelessness. We still have more homeless people than we had 10 years ago. Somebody else's problem. Now it's this, and it's Trump's fault because he's sending in the National Guard to help out, which he's saying he has no authority to do, which the authority to do. I don't know why they keep saying that. He's the commander in chief. He could deploy the National Guard to anywhere he feels necessary. So again, trying to play politics as opposed to just taking care of the people that live there. If I was a resident of California, I'd be so pissed off in the way that they're handling that. Not even the way that, I mean, of course it's not a good feeling when the National Guard is being deployed to your town and they're going through and arresting people. That's not a good feeling. I get it. But if you had your police officers properly trained to put riots away when they first come up and detain people that are blowing up cars into doing that wouldn't happen. And we've seen this across the country in multiple different Democratic run areas, right? The riots in Minnesota in 2020. Oh, you know what I wanted to say? That's funny.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom has a problem with deploying the National Guard for this stuff, right? But do you remember the last time he deployed the National Guard? Do you know what event was going on then?
Let me guess. Black Lives Matter.
No, but it was around the same time. COVID.
George Floyd.
COVID.
Oh, okay. So well, yeah, same
So if
time
you were
frame.
out past curfew or you were on the beach without a mask, the National Guard would have told you to go home. You weren't allowed to be outside. Remember, you couldn't be at restaurants, couldn't do anything of that. In California, the National Guard was patrolling the streets. But now people are blowing up cars and looting stores and destroying cop vehicles, and he doesn't want the National Guard there. So it's like, what does this guy want?
It's a great point.
What does this guy want?
It's a great point. What a fucking moron. It's yeah, because it's not based on logic. It's based upon political ideology. It's whatever Trump does, whatever they think, whatever they want. Wrong, wrong, wrong. We have to be the opposite, even if the opposite is clearly not the popular opinion or popular point. It's just pure contrarianism, just contrary to what they want. I saw a tweet. I'll read it for you just so we can get it verbatim. I mean, this tweet shocked me. Shocked me at just the level of hubris, the level of self-awareness, the lack of self-awareness. It's Karen Ass Cheeks from I literally put in Karen Ass, hilarious. Here it is. Mayor
Bass.
Karen Ass. Yeah, the bumbleclot mayor of LA. Probably looks like a DEI hire. Official account for the 43rd mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Ass. Okay, so look at this tweet that she said. Let's see here. Oh, what if she deleted it? Imagine. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Here it is. So this is the tweet from Mayor Karen Ass after she completely fumbled the whole wildfire situation because they had no fucking water in California. She said, I issued a curfew starting tonight at 8 p.m. for downtown Los Angeles to stop bad actors who are taking advantage of the president's chaotic escalation. Blamed President Trump for their riots in their city, even though it's not happening anywhere else in the fucking country. If you do not live or work in downtown LA, avoid the area because it's unsafe. Law enforcement will arrest individuals who break the curfew and you will be prosecuted. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, number one, instead of taking accountability like a good leader would do, like a real leader would do, accept accountability and provide a solution, she's instead saying, hey, because of everything President Trump did to escalate the situation and make this more chaotic than it had to be, now I'm going to put a curfew because he messed it up and made it bad for everybody. Who are these people? They've never understood how leadership works. They've never understood how to actually build a good community, develop a sense of trust, a sense of rapport with the people that are. She's just blaming Pompino, and that's why they have to put the curfews in. It's Trump's fault that you have to put in curfews because you have no control over your city and what's going on with these riots. And I thought these riots were peaceful, so why do you have to put in a curfew? I
Yeah.
thought there weren't any bad actors because these are mostly peaceful protests, right? So then why is there a curfew? I don't understand. Which one is it?
Anyone with a brain could see what they're doing, and it's only going to hurt them because who's Gavin Newsom's going to run for president in 2028, and they're going to bring that up. Oh, he's going to run for sure. He's going to get no votes, but he's going to run, and that's going to be one of the main talking points is what he's done in California over the past 8 years as governor, and they got plenty of talking points to go after him about. So it's only going to hurt them in the long run when they're blaming other people, this and that, for what they do, for what their problems are. It's only going to hurt them.
Bomboclats. Yeah, and what was I going to say about the riots? Yeah, so then the riots themselves too should be an eye opener for the country. These are Mexicans who are upset about deportations, and in their disgust at being deported back to their country of Mexico, they're waving around Mexican flags, showing their support for the country of Mexico. So hold on a second. You don't want to be deported back to your country, that flag you're waving around and saying that you love so much. Well, then why aren't you there? Why didn't you stay? If it was such a fantastic country and there was so much opportunity there and you loved it so much, you're so loyal to it, why the fuck did you leave?
There,
It's just such a foolish. But yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that there was a great clip of this guy who was on Joe Rogan in 2023. And he predicted, I don't know if you saw this clip, but it's been going around recently because what he predicted was completely true. That back in the day, we had the after BLM, and he said you're going to see a lot of LGBTQ like parades and riots for that kind of stuff. People want those type of rights and stuff. He said, but what you're going to see around the 2024 election into 2025 is illegal immigration riots, and he said it's going to be funded by a certain group of people, and you're going to see them pop up over the country. And now people are starting to take that clip and like lay it over like the videos of that happening, and it's literally happening. So he's saying that, and he compared it to the Bolshevik War, which I'm not very familiar with. I think it was in Russia, right? The Bolsheviks.
Yeah.
Bolshevik
Revolution. It was Jews that overthrew the government, took control, killed a bunch of Christians.
Yeah,
Bolshevik
so he
revolution.
compared it to that, but I didn't have too much knowledge in the Bolshevik War, which I'll have to look into if it's similar to what's going on now. But yeah, what he was saying is what these group of people that are going to fund these riots and things are going to get such a rile out of the government that they're going to have to start putting troops here and troops there, and then battles literally are going to start arising because these people are going to become like a militant almost. And you could almost say what happened in Los Angeles was almost militant with people, blowing things up, cars on fire. Like there's no place for that anywhere. So yeah, that was a crazy clip. What else was I going to say? But yeah, you're in terms of waving the
It's disingenuous.
waving the Mexican flag around because you don't want to go back or you don't want other people. I bet a good majority of the people are citizens from Mexican heritage who are just trying to stand up for other people of that heritage, but that's not what it's about. It's about people who are here illegally, and this is what we've known Donald Trump was going to do for the past 2 years as he was running for president. This was one of his campaign main things he brought up on the campaign trail. So this is nothing new. We knew this was going to happen, but somebody's taking advantage of it. Somebody is using it to go after Trump in the same kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all political. They don't actually care about these people either.
Yeah,
These people in California and the politicians on the left that peddle this ideology, they don't actually care about these people. They don't give a fuck about these people. They're just using them for cheap labor, free votes, control. That's it. That's all they're using them for. They don't have any real sympathy, the people in power, for these people. And then they sell the young generation, they sell these college students, they sell these left-wing ideologists this mindset where they believe, oh yes, we want to be inclusive for everybody, except the only people that disagree with us, which is the complete opposite of inclusivity. That's the delusion of that mindset too of, oh, we have the moral high ground. We're so inclusive. We include everybody. We want everybody to be this, that, and the third, except for anybody that disagrees with us. Well, then what kind of, that's not inclusivity. Inclusivity is not only liking and only taking care of those that think exactly like you, and then diminishing, abolishing, pushing back on, fighting against anybody who doesn't. That's not inclusivity. Inherently, there's no inclusivity there because everybody is the same. You're only inclusive if you're willing to include and respect those that disagree with you. Are you inclusive? And that's the delusion of that mindset, is they're actually the least inclusive people humanly possible. Because as soon as you disagree with anything that they think, you're a Nazi, you're a terrorist, you're this, that,
you're
and
the
third.
enemy.
You're the enemy. And so they don't understand that that's not inclusivity. This is also why the freedom of speech in the Constitution, the freedom of speech in the Bill of Rights, the reason it's so important is it's not there to protect speech that you agree with. It's there to protect the speech in which you don't agree with. That's the only way it matters. That's the only way that it works. It means nothing if you're only allowing the speech that you agree with, then there is no freedom. The freedom of speech protects the speech that specifically offends you, specifically you don't like, specifically is dangerous. That's what it protects. That's the only reason it matters. So inherently, you can't be inclusive if you only include the people that you agree with. So it's a bullshit mindset. It's a bullshit ideology, and it's very dangerous because it's the complete antithesis of what they say that it is.
Yeah,
it's the opposite. It's not inclusive at all.
Yep. That's so true. And one of the things that I realized too, as like watching some of the riot stuff online and stuff, is that they want you to see what, like, they're going to show you what they want you to see. So they want, like, every news station is broadcasting it, and it's all over social media. Everyone here is like are taking clips from news stations or clips from that people are posting and reposting it. It's like these news stations in the media, they want you to see this stuff because they want to put an idea in your head of what it is. The stuff that they don't want you to see, you don't see it. That's just what it is. So you have to be so diligent when you're thinking through what you're seeing on social media. Even if it's a clip from a news network, it's a clip from somebody, whoever posted it, like, why did they post this? Because there's always a kind of a reason, unless it's just like a totally random, like, yo, look at what happened today when I was here. Those are the most reliable videos of sorts. But in terms of like a news network, why would they cover this thing for probably 2 weeks in a row every single night? Because they want you to see it, and they want to put their opinions over the video, and they want you to absorb those opinions of what it is and then frame your mind to how you think about it. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt, even when you're looking at this kind of stuff, because there's always an underlying story, whether good or bad, depending on how you look at it. So you have to, you have to think about this stuff critically before you just make an opinion because you saw a 30-second clip on a news network of what's going on. You know what? And they probably show that Karen Bass talking. I bet you she's all over the news networks in California.
Yeah, Karen Ass, blaming Pompino for the chaotic escalation. So you send in the National Guard on your own citizens to oppress them during COVID. But when we send in the National Guard to protect our citizens against the illegal rioters, now it's a chaotic escalation. Notice that they want to oppress the citizens of this nation and help those that are not here legally and not citizens and take care of those. Why is that? Think about that deeply. Why? These people come here illegally. They get free health care. Americans don't get free health care. They get free housing. Americans don't get free housing. They get flights to whatever sanctuary city they want to go to. They get what's it called? Refugee status without actually being refugees. They don't have to go to court. They come here illegally. They get to break all these laws. But then the actual American citizen that has the right to be in this country and to benefit from being in this nation has to abide by the laws or they get thrown in jail. Doesn't get the free healthcare, doesn't get the free housing, doesn't get all the benefits of being an illegal. Then what the fuck's the point? Why aren't we giving these benefits to our veterans that were in the military? Why do veterans get treated like shit? Why don't veterans get treated as well as these fucking illegal immigrants? Why? Because they can't do anything more for you because they can already vote. They could be Republican. Maybe they don't want to vote Democrat for you. Is that why you don't care about them?
Yep. Well, I think that's a major thing that a lot of people are starting to come to light is that California has some of the loosest voter laws, and in terms of
no voter ID, blasphemous.
And drawing districts for Congress and for Senate seats and for House of the House seats, those are all done by population of counties and done by populations and the census, and they count. If you live in a house in California, you're going to get a census whether you're a legal person or an illegal person. So it's all about votes at the end of the day. I don't think if California took away all the illegal immigration, they would be blue every single election. I don't think so. And I think that's what the government there knows, Gavin Newsom. And I agree with Gavin Newsom on one thing. It's that Donald Trump shouldn't be involved in it. Yeah, he shouldn't be involved with it. It's your job to do it. That's why you're the governor. You're in charge of the state. Donald Trump has other things to worry about in terms of world geopolitics and the war in Ukraine and dealing with Israel and Gaza and all that other stuff that he has to deal with on the day to day. China trade deals with Europe, so there's all these other things going on. He shouldn't be involved in this. It shouldn't be his problem. It's your problem, Gavin Newsom, and that's why people are starting to get on to his ass, because it is your job to do it. And I agree with him on that Donald Trump shouldn't have to do it, but unfortunately he does, because Gavin Newsom is incompetent. He won't do his job.
Yeah, and all you gotta do is look at hard, raw data. Numbers never lie. You're a businessman, you understand. Numbers never lie. They're not emotional. They're non-biased. They're just numbers. Why is California losing so many millions of people from their state every year? Is that the sign of a thriving, growing, developing state that's fantastic for everybody to move to? Or is that the sign of a state that's dying because they can't self-sustain with the current ideology of the current government? They can't self-sustain. If you're not growing, you're dying. Well, not only are they not growing, they're actually getting smaller. So population's going down. They lose votes in the Electoral College. They lose Democratic all of a sudden, how are you going to replace all of these people that are leaving your state due to incompetence? Oh, we could just ship in a bunch of illegal immigrants, pay for them. We can keep all those electoral votes for the presidential election and et cetera, et cetera. Oh, now it starts to make sense.
Because if they lost California, it's game over for them, and they know that. It basically. I want to say I'm trying to think about the electoral map. Um,
Yeah,
I,
if they lose Cali, they're screwed because Cali's what, 40 or 50?
I
It's
was
a
gonna
lot.
say
Or
between. I was trying to think of California and New York combined is probably almost 100.
yeah, for California it's between 30 and 40, I think. So electoral votes for Cali.
TML fan said that California grew by 0.4% last year. I know that doesn't sound right to me.
Well, yeah, you're including illegal immigrants, right? California is, yeah, 54 votes.
Plus, and then New York is what, 40? High 30s?
New York is 30, 28. So, yeah, the two of them together, 30 plus 54, close to 100.
That's about
So, yeah, that's what they need.
40% what you need to become president. You need 213.
Oops, where am I at? Ask the guy who gave that data. I'm sure that's including the total census, which is including illegal immigrants.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the data that shows mass outflux from California
Hmm.
to places like Tennessee, Texas, Florida. Um, Not sure where he's getting that.
I'm gonna look. I'll look it up right now. Are more Americans leaving California? Not cooked. Okay, so here it is. Yes, this is Google AI, and Google is liberal as fuck. So yes, in 2024, more people left California than moved to the state. This trend has been consistent for several years, with more Americans leaving California than moving in. So, keyword Americans. We're
Americans.
not talking about illegals. Exactly. More detailed look. 2024 data that 2024 saw more people move out of census bureaus and showing a net migration loss for California. Specific numbers, for example, between 2022 and 2023, more than 690, while just over 420,000 moved in, according to Business Insider. Historical trends over the decade from 2010, approximately 2 million people moved from California to other states, while only 6.7 million moved into California. So whoever gave us that data voted for Kamala, and he's lying.
Yeah, he said while you were saying there, he said the U.S. Census Bureau, which is what we were talking about, Census Bureau will count illegal immigrants. California's
Correct.
population grew by approximately 0.59% from July 1st, 2023 to July 1st, 2024. And you got to think that time frame was when the border was wide open under Biden. Um, so if you take that,
Makes sense.
about 600,000 California residents leaving for other states every year, and the population grew by 0.5%, that's almost 700,000 unaccounted for people coming into the state a year.
There you go. So that makes sense. So why are they bringing illegals into these states? Because they're losing people. So how are the Democrats going to maintain the electoral votes that they have for California? You have to have the census show that you still have the same number of people. Now it's all making sense. See, these things aren't done by accident. You don't just accidentally open the border and allow millions of people to enter in illegally. That's not an accident. They do that on purpose. Well, if they did it on purpose, there had to have been a motive with a desired goal for doing that. These aren't stupid people. Okay. Well, what could those motives possibly be? Because if you let in undocumented illegal people, naturally, not all of them, of course not. But naturally, what's going to happen? You're going to get criminals. You're going to get sex traffickers. You're going to get the cartel to come in and do business illegally. You're going to get all these things to happen. So that's not a good thing for letting people in illegally. You also disrespect everybody who comes in here legally. That's not good. You're letting American workers become undercut for wages. That's not good. So what would be the positive to doing that? Oh, well, political influence. So that's your answer, right?
And they're going to show allegiance to the people that let them in like this, you know.
Exactly.
And it really is such a hard topic because these people are already here. They probably are setting up their lives now. And that's where you're gonna see people getting taken out of their house who have lived here. And that's fuel for people. You know, they're going to see that and be like, oh, look at this lady getting deported after 5 years, da 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 da. You know, whatever it is, right? And that's fuel for the other side to say, oh, this is bad, we need to keep them here, da 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 da. But when does it become law and order? Like, when does the law have to be enforced? Well, it has to be enforced all the time. And if it wasn't enforced over the past few years, now is the time that it's going to have to be enforced. So it's going to look bad, even though it's the law. Like, that's what it is. Like, probably if me and you wanted to go set up shop in Mexico City, right? We just show up, we rent an apartment, and we get to work, right? We don't pay any taxes to the Mexican government. We just sit there, we go out, and we do what we want to do. It's only a matter of time before they find us and they deport us back to America. Their Mexican constitution laws are actually way stricter than the United States. They don't even allow us. I believe you could get a visa up to a year from Mexico. You can't even get a visa for a year stay as an American citizen. So it's only a matter of time before they would find us and then bring us back here. So why should it work the other way? And same with a lot of other countries. We can't go there and just set up shop and start working and take people's jobs and do what we want to do, especially if we're causing crime. If you're causing crime, then yes, you deserve to be, ousted immediately. But we can't do it, so why should they be able to do it in our house, right? We can't go into their home and do what we want to do, but they could come here and do what they want to do? Just because we have more resources?
Exactly. Imagine you and me get a crew of 100 people. We illegally immigrate to China, go to Beijing, start a riot,
Wave the American flag.
maybe wave the American flag. We're being oppressed. You can't deport us. We love America so much. You can't send us back to America. What the fuck do you think the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, is going to do? You think they're going to look at each other and say, oh, we can't deport these people back to America. They love America so much. We can't send them back there. And they came here illegally, but that's okay. They can break our laws, even though our own citizens can't break our laws, and we'll put them in jail. No, but we won't put them in jail. That's not nice. That's not the nice thing to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even think they would deport you. They just put you in jail. They lock you up.
Yeah.
That's why they
They don't give a
have those
fuck.
political prisoners. It's because they don't deport them back. They keep them in jail there.
Yeah. And they say, hey, you want to get this person back? Go ahead and send us a Chinese person of interest. Thank you. Thank you. What the fuck do you think happens in these other countries? These fucking just these people live in a fairy tale land because they have the blessing of having all these freedoms in the US that they live in this fairy tale world, assuming that this is how every other country works or should think or should work. No. Mama clot. It's so fucking dumb. So dumb.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my.
that's that was the hot news for the week. Trump, Elon.
One last point I'll make. I was just thinking about this too. Just thought came into my head was people look at these politicians like a Gavin Newsom or Karen Ass and these people, Kamala, Comrade Harris. And they look at them as these virtuous people who just they want to help people and they're so nice and they care about these illegal immigrants and all these they think that these people care about these people. They don't give a Frenchman's fuck about you or these people. Okay? And here, I'll be 2020 or I'll be transparent both ways. I don't believe Elon and Trump are as virtuous as they may try to seem. Nobody is, okay?
No.
But here's the difference. On the left, they care more about people that aren't you than they do about you, which is They care more about non-citizens than real citizens. Trump, on the other hand, yeah, they're still trying to make money. Yeah, they're manipulating the market. Yeah, they're trying to get rich for themselves. 100%. I don't believe Trump and these guys are just like doing this out of the kindness of their heart. I'm not a fool. But the difference is, at least he cares more about the American people than he does non-Americans. That would make sense for me.
Yeah, that's a
Also,
that's a big one.
yeah, yeah, big
That's
difference,
kind of a
right?
requirement for the job, right?
Yeah, kind of a requirement for you to be the president of the United States is to care more about American citizens than other citizens of other countries. That's kind of the fucking point. And then the one last other point I'll make is I'm also gonna put more faith in the man who cares about family, who cares about children, grandchildren, people, human beings, because he's gonna have a better sense of what to do for the overall good for future generations because he cares about his children, he cares about his grandchildren, he has a family. On the left, they're all about gay, transgenderism, abortion, death cult, less human beings, less family, less children, more killing. The complete antithesis of that. So, why would I put my faith in a group of individuals that don't care? They literally don't care because they don't have to. They don't care what the world's going to look like after they're gone because they don't have children, because they do have abortions, because they don't care because they don't have children. They're gay. They don't have kids. They have abortions. They don't have kids. They don't care about the future. Well, if you told anybody outside the context of politics, hey, what's better? Prioritize feeling good right now and what's it called destroying your future, or should you sacrifice right now, make good decisions right now that aren't great, aren't comfortable, but in the long run have a much more fantastic outcome? Delayed gratification, right? Everybody be like, oh yeah, you should eat healthy now so you're healthy later. You should work out now even though it hurts so you can live longer. Makes sense, right? So then why would you adopt that mindset with politics? So to me, it's pretty simple. I'm not going to put my faith in people who don't want children and don't care for children. They have no incentive to keep the world around after them.
I completely agree, and it's going to be at their own demise because people see this. People could see that they just, even with the last election, and they don't have anything to stand for. Everything they stand for, nobody cares about, one, or nobody agrees with. So when you don't have a policy to stand on, it's tough to vote for you. So it could be, this guy is asking how many kids we have.
32.
So yeah, I completely agree, and I think that when they don't have anything to stand for, it's only coming at their own demise because they aren't going to be able to get those type of people, those type of men inside the United States that actually do go to work every day and build stuff and have children and raise families. Those are the type of guys that run this country, legitimately. Those are the working class guys that run this country, build things, even upper echelon guys that you don't even know about, right? The multi-millionaires who are at home raising their family. They have belief systems that they don't agree with on that side, 100%. Even if they have money, even if they have liberal ideas, they don't agree with that stuff that is going on over there. So it's coming at the demise of the Democratic Party, which has been long overdue. If you go back to, you could go back to the Civil War. The Democrats have been on the wrong side of a lot of issues when it comes to the Emancipation Proclamation in the Civil War. They were
Republicans.
They were super against it. They fought a war over it, tried to secede from it. The Civil Rights Movement, that was a Republican-led movement. So they've been on the wrong side of a lot of issues, and this is no different.
Yeah, that I'm sure that hurts the Dems. It's the Repubs who fucking freed the slaves, huh?
Yes.
It was. So it's like
Abraham Lincoln, Republican.
yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, it's